everybody. Welcome back to season 3 of Hot Combs and Popcorn podcast movie series, The Box Office. For those who don't know, my name is Bobby.
My name is Danielle.
And my name's Brianna.
And one of the things we like to do here on this series is review movies and Black culture that we should have seen by now, but we just haven't. And at the end, okay, sorry, I'm gonna run that back. One of the things we like to do here on this series is review movies and Black culture that we should have seen by now, but we just haven't. And at the end, after we discuss our thoughts and feelings as millennials, we will be rating these movies on a scale from 1 to 5 hot combs. Today, we are reviewing Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit, written by James Orr, Jim Cruikshank, Judy Ann Mason. It was directed by Bill Duke, and starring Whoopi Goldberg, Kathy Najimy, James Coburn, Maggie Smith, Lauryn Hill, Cheryl Lee Ralph, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and Tanya Trotter. Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit, had a release date of December 10th, 1993. It's rated PG, and it has a runtime of 1 hour, 47 minutes. Love it. Quick synopsis. Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit, is the 1993 American musical comedy film directed by Bill Duke and released by Touchstone Pictures. It's the sequel to the 1992 film Sister Act, which we just reviewed, so listen to that one as well if you would like. And it is loosely based on the life of Crenshaw High School choir director Iris Stevenson, which I did not know before this. The story sees Whoopi Goldberg reprise her role as Dolores Van Cartier as she finds herself coming to the aid of her nun friends who need her help to save the school. So, we know what we came here to do. What are our thoughts on Sister Act 2? General, let's just get into it, guys. Let's get into it.
It's what is there not to love about this movie? Like, it was just a good old time. This is one of my feel-good movies. It's lighthearted. It's for the kids. It's for the adults. It's, it's very PG, as they say. So, everybody can enjoy it. The comedy is still there from the previous movie. Yeah, I love it. It's a bop.
They wrote it, they directed it, they put it out there, and it was a banger. One of the bestest gospel songs ever, "I Am a Sparrow," came out of this song and came out of this. This was truly the most I've ever heard Lauryn Hill speak. And I feel like she could have ate as an actress. Personally. She was playing that role down. And I was like, it's just so crazy that voice, that song voice comes out of such a little itty bitty body with such talents for the arts. I wish that she would have gotten to acting, but I loved it. My nun girls were back. My favorite top 3 were there in the beginning. And it was just a cute little ride, She came back, saved the children, and then probably left. And who else? What else do you need?
Literally nothing else.
Nothing else. She did exactly what they said. And they kind of set it up for a third movie because she had whispered to Maggie Smith's character that you owe me a favor now or something, or you owe me. So like if they wanted to come back and do something, they could,
I think Sister Act 3 has been greenlit recently.
I have heard thoughts about it. I didn't know if it was out there in the universe.
I don't know how far along they are, but I have heard that it's coming back. It has a whole IMDb page. Wait, Keke Palmer. Wait, stop. Wait. Hold on. I'm sorry. It's starring Keke Palmer and Jennifer Lewis. Stop. Wait.
Wow. She just gave, as of 4 days ago. Just gave updates on this like 4 days ago.
4 days ago. She said it will be here soon. Oh. Well, y'all know what we gonna do.
Well,
we have another movie to watch. We have another banger with KK. And
Jennifer.
Please.
It probably has something to do with Jennifer's. I hope it has something to do with Jennifer and her character in it from the first one, because she was like, if you didn't even know who Jennifer Lewis was, you wouldn't even know she was in the first one. That's how quick it went. So I hope that it has to do with her character. Maybe, you know, Sister Cartier comes to help her, you know, with her niece of Kiki Palmer. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out. I don't know the premise. I don't know the premise, but if it's correct, come back to this video.
You know, based on what we've seen in Sister Act 2, which I'm just gonna briefly say, like, what a movie, you know, like what a piece of cinema. I feel very strongly about this one. Like, I really do. Whoopi once again reminding us why she's an EGOT. Like, we'll get into it. I'm not gonna do too much. But do we want to get into lowlights, highlights? Like, I don't have any lowlights, but
I was gonna say the question is, are there lowlights?
I do have
Because
a bit of a low light.
okay. Okay, let's start there. Go ahead, let's unpack it.
I do have a bit of a low light. And this is comparing it to the first movie, right? Because you can't really see the first movie without, I mean, you can't really see the second movie without seeing the first movie. Like, I mean, you can, but the second movie is like way funnier when you've seen the first movie. I feel like it was a bit rushed. Now, I do love hour 45. I do love around that mark, boom, that we out of there, right? But I feel like the story that was being told would have benefited from like an extra 10 minutes, extra 15 minutes. I feel like the kids really hopped on board, switchity boopity boop. Like there was really no real, like, other than her coming in and getting them together as a Black woman should. I don't know. I feel like it could have been a little bit longer, just like a little bit more in depth of some things, you know, maybe another conversation in sequel with Chris, because, you know, Mr. Crispy was very a bad guy. He was a villain, you know, just a little bit more. I feel like the focus this time was the songs. I feel like maybe it's because it was like super fast. They filmed it like literally came out the next year. I don't know. But I just feel like the storyline was just a little bit less tight than the other one, than the original. That's my only low light. I feel like it moved a little too quickly. You know, I get this is not improv. You know, you don't have to say yes to everything. I feel like there could have been a little bit more conflict, a little bit more, you know, razzle dazzles, if you will. But that's my only low light of this movie is I feel like the plot in general with like the steps that are hit and stuff was just a little bit rushed versus the first one.
That's fair.
Okay. Yeah.
I could see that, and low-key, I would like more. Just to live in it just a little bit longer as well. Cause like certain scenes were so good. I said, oh, just give me, I almost started it over, but I literally watched it like right before recording this. So there were certain scenes that I really wanted to go back and watch again and again. Because it was just so fun. So I can get on board with that.
I guess like in the first movie, it took her longer to get the nuns like prepared as a choir. And it seems like the kids, and maybe it's because they took music classes, I don't know, but like I've taken music classes, that don't mean anything about my ability to do music. I feel like they just hopped into it, bam, boom, we in it. Like, I don't know, if you willing to like make this woman get fired, make this woman quit her job, her coming in, I don't know. Maybe these teens ain't really about the life they say they're about, because she was eating them up the whole time. Okay. It just seemed like it didn't really take nothing to switch their brain. I would have liked to see her in the class become more of a choir a little bit longer, other than that first performance, because it was literally a transition shot of them practicing and then boom, they're on stage and the guy is hitting high notes. Like, I just feel like it could have been just a little bit longer with the choir. Just like a little bit longer of the making of it all. It just seemed you can't see what I'm doing. I'm snapping my fingers with my eyes closed and only one hand is snapping because I'm going to snap one hand. It's just, I just wish it was a little, a little bit more story to it. I mean, it's clear to me that this movie was about the songs.
Right.
But
Which,
outside of
like,
the songs.
Yeah. Because I get what you're saying. I think in a sense they kind of how do I word this? You know how teenagers are where they change their mind kind of like that? When they were talking about, oh, should we go to the competition? And they were going back and forth. And one of them's talking about there'll be boys at the thing. One of them's talking about what was the other thing? That got the girls. I don't remember what got the guys, but like they were like, oh, okay, we're in, like whatever. I think that kind of was a good transition, but like you were saying, them learning the music, all we heard was them doing la 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 la. So we didn't really
Right.
see anything else besides
So-
that. So unless that Oh Happy Day was supposed to be like, no, that was supposed to be a concert in front of the whole school. So I don't know. I don't know. I think I see what you mean. I think it could have maybe a good 15 could have been added on to it. Just a little
See, I ain't
bit.
asking for no
Yeah.
hour, but like even a good 10 minutes,
No.
maybe just a little bit more in terms
Mhm.
of development of the kids. That's what I would have
Mhm.
asked for. We,
Mhm.
watching this movie, they tell you a little bit of what you need to know of the backstory, aka like if you had not seen the first movie. But I feel like even if you was watching that movie, I still would feel like this kind of rushed. Like there's something missing. There's like a hurdle that didn't get jumped over for us to get here. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. They was claiming all this was lame, and then all of a sudden they was down for it. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't that type of teenager, but
But But oh, okay. It's not okay. I do have one kind of low light. Um, when they brought in Sister Mary Clarence, aka Dolores, and the father, whatever his name is, the principal, he was like, "Oh, we're happy to have her, blah blah blah." And then at the end, they're learning about her past. I was like, "How realistic is this truly?" When she was on the news, the Pope came. How you not know about the Pope coming to the now school that you were teaching at, and you don't look into the nuns that you're hiring. You just decide to follow the word of I don't know. I thought it was a little bit of a plot hole, because it's like, how realistic is that y'all not gonna screen the nuns? Maybe they don't screen nuns. Maybe they just trust them. They trust in the Lord.
Right. Because why would they lie?
Right.
You know?
Right. Amen.
it's crazy
Mhm.
that you say that because I literally wrote down. I'm looking at my notes. I don't know where it is, but I literally wrote down Crispy. You can say you've been in them clubs if you have, because he kept saying she looks so familiar. She looks so
That
familiar, and
yeah.
they never stuck it to your point that you're saying that it was
Hmm.
because she was with them and performed with the Pope. They never talked about that. Only that
Yeah.
she was a Las Vegas performer, and he was like, I kept seeing. He was like, I've seen her face. I was like, if you've been in the clubs, just say you've been in the
Yeah,
clubs.
that was
Like,
so funny.
He outside.
because to your point, Danielle, they did not say that that's how they know her from
Hmm.
being the one that was with the Pope and with the church and da da da. Da. So it led
Hmm.
me to believe as a viewer that Crispy was in these streets. And but I was like,
Which he probably
why you know
was.
her? Which no judgment.
Mhm.
Okay, that's for
No,
God. But
he outside.
also he was an op, so
He
that'll
was.
do it.
He was.
Yeah, he
Hmm.
had a very large stick all the way up
Hmm.
his ass.
The pause.
And I just really want to
Yeah.
just yank it out. Like, just relax. It's fine.
Uh-huh.
Let people enjoy things.
Right.
Let
Absolutely.
us have fun. Stop being such a killjoy all the damn time, sucking the life out of everything. Damn.
Well, I feel like he had like maybe I don't know if it was like explained, but it felt like he had a vendetta against the school. Like it seemed like he was plotting to get the school closed. Like, he wasn't trying to help find funds. He wasn't trying to help talk to the people. He was like, okay, great. I think this is a great decision and I want to retire early. Like, I was just like, do you
I think
care
that
about the
was
school?
the
Because
whole.
he
Go
sounded
ahead.
like to me. Like, I know that they had money problems, but
Mhm.
his specific actions was like, no, we can't save the school. Gotta go. Also, I want to retire. And I was like,
okay.
Because I think the retirement thing was like the main reason why he was doing this whole thing. Because if the school closed and because remember they were like, oh, you did such good work here and blah blah blah, like the board or whoever they were, and he was like, oh, so my early retirement, and they were like, of
exactly.
course, he just wants to retire.
Exactly.
Well, like, sir,
He
there's
didn't care
better
about them
ways to
kids.
retire. No,
Absolutely.
like, so you want these kids to be out of school?
Like,
You a hater.
that is chaotic.
You're supposed to be doing the Lord's work. Hello? But no, he said that ain't got nothing to do with
Make a
me.
fair point.
Close the school so I can go be on the beach. I'm supposed to be in Cancun.
That's what he wanted.
Yeah, he was whack. But okay, I I don't think I have any low lines. A few may come up, maybe.
Mhm.
But okay. Do you guys want to jump into the highlights?
Sure.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
okay, bouncing off of Crispy and the
Oh,
retirement
yes.
thing, I thought it was just so great. So great that at the end of the movie when that whole thing came around and what's her name? Mother Superior or whatever it is,
Mhm.
she was like, Crispy, he had this whole thing, he set this whole thing up, he saved the school and he does not want to retire. And I was like, oh, like
Ate him
this
up.
woman
Yep.
she said, no, you tried to play us. I got something for you.
And then told him to go with God.
Go with God.
She go with God. I was like, oh,
Mother,
I was
You're
like,
mother.
gonna have to start saying that. That's
I'm gonna
like a
start
cuss
using that.
word. Like,
Okay. That's the
Go with
perfect way
God.
to end a read, like
Because it's like, what do you mean by that? Like go with God up there? Like,
or like go with God.
or
Like
go with God.
away
Either
from
way,
hate.
it's a read. Right.
It's flawless.
Yeah. No notes.
Either way.
I was like, go ahead, girl.
Honestly, all the reads that came from this film were immaculate. Whoopi eating them
They
kids
were.
up. Okay, up.
Yeah.
And they deserved it. Like real bad. It brought a single tear to my eye. I was just like, yes, read these bitches, read them. Yes, that brought joy.
Mm-hmm.
Also, first of all, I was like, Bill Duke directed it. What? I was like, not him in the director's chair? I was like, you ate that. Then when they visited her, I was like, this is so cute. And because I pay attention to detail, I was like, them being served milk by the bar is the craziest thing I've ever seen in a movie. Go back, watch it when they're at their table together. This waiter brings them whole glasses of milk.
That's so cute.
Milk.
Yeah.
I said,
Milk is crazy.
This is just horrible. Also, our nuns, they came back and did what they needed to do. Okay, them kids were haters. Ball of Confusion hit. Ball of Confusion. I was like, what are y'all talking? They said, it's cool, but not what I want. First of all,
No,
you
listen.
got a 40-year-old woman's haircut on your head. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear about it. No disrespect. I love her. She was one person that I think also made Io Sarah. But the the kids, they was like, oh, this is lame. What do you mean? They out here killing the game. Like y'all just mad because these nuns eating them up.
With the choreography.
Choreography. First of all, they were rapping. I was like, oh my God. They hit the
Like, yes.
the banter was going. I was like, oh. And then after that, she ate them. She was eating them kids up the whole movie. For those who don't know what eat them up means, it means she gathered them. It means she read them.
And if you don't know what that
means,
means,
you know, eat can mean a lot of things, but it usually means you served in the circumstance. You
Right.
excelled in the circumstance. And she
Yes.
was eating them up, dragging them for filth, reading them. Library was open. Like, she was just like, look, you want to be this Frankie, hey, ho, ho, ho. I said, oh my gosh. She roasting these little kids. And honestly, bring that back. That's what we need with teachers.
No,
We
for
need
real.
teachers
them.
to, I don't want to say meet them at their level, because we've seen some very controversial things when teachers meet them at their level. But I'm not going to say that we need teachers, you know, being able to get permissions from their parents to whoop the child. I ain't trying to go that back far in history. But like, some of these kids, somebody got to do something with the way that they be talking to these teachers. Because I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, she really was like on that with them. And I was like, period.
Okay.
We need that now. Because these kids be ready to fight. And I would be like, which one of y'all want to go first? Like, we need to instill some fear and respect like she did.
Dead ass. And it wasn't even like it was egregious, you know, like it was all pretty reasonable stuff that she would say. Take off your damn sunglasses. There is no sun. Take off your freaking hat. Okay, be respectful. Stop doing your makeup. What? Wake up.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right. She
Like,
said,
come on.
"Wake up!" And
So
he
you
was
want
like,
to share the notes with the class? You want to
like,
share the notes with the class? Then do it late.
hello?
I said, period.
He was
Literally.
talking about some. I got a job, and she said, "Save it for Oprah." I said, "Ma'am,
I
ma'am."
said, well,
She
first
was
of all,
dragging
that
them
was
kids.
me. But I
That
was like,
was
I was
funny.
like, not save it for Oprah.
Save
This
it
voice
for
will tell you, so
Oprah.
like, save it for Oprah.
Right.
Like,
I
Gather.
was like, that would have shut me right up. Like, okay, heard you,
Mhm.
got it.
Mhm.
yes. And on top of that, she said, if you don't like it, you can go. Because I will fail you.
As she
And
should.
that's what we need. And that's what we need. Fail these students. It's going to take at least one whole generation to correct what's going on. So the one that's already down, let's just,
You can go.
you
The
know.
door is right there. Right there. Yeah,
You
I
can
made
leave.
I made a note specifically about that. I said I just love to see teachers that care. Like, seriously, because she was collecting them because she had to for y'all. Teachers walk
Mhm.
into those schools every day, and teach y'all's disrespectful ass children. Okay? They are tired. They have been beaten, battered, berated. Okay?
Underpaid.
Literally.
Underpaid. Teachers buy their own pencils, okay? And so, and they still care. And they do it because they care, you know, most of them, I would hope.
Right.
And
Right.
seeing this reflected was quite refreshing. It brought a smile to my face. I said, yes, yes, be the authority figure. Please. Thank you. That's when I knew that this film was going to be flawless.
You know when I knew that the film was gonna be flawless? In the first scene, where she is flying, flying through the air, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's giving SpongeBob, it's giving Beyonce,
Not Patrick Star.
Renaissance World Tour," and I was like,
Talk about it. Talk
this
about it.
this I see the vision here. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's when I knew.
She
I was like,
walked.
"Oh,
It's giving them twins. Go back and forth.
Yeah. She walked so SpongeBob could run, so Beyonce could fly.
Oh,
And that's
exactly
literally in that order.
in that order,
Literally in that
absolutely.
order.
Yeah,
Okay. She took one for the
Iconic.
team.
She did.
yes. Also, I know we touched on this, I think, in the first Sister Act movie, but like Whoopi, like low-key singing for her life. Like the whole movie. I was like, okay, Whoopi,
Yeah.
tell us then.
Listen, should we get into it? Should we get into the music?
I was slowly like edging, but I
Because
this could go so many different directions.
they had such a talented, like the young people in this movie, they had such a talented cast. And like I went back and like didn't realize how many now famous people were in that movie. And I didn't know that some of them could sing. Like they were eating, like even in the credit scene, first of all,
Oh,
Loved it.
don't
Loved it.
ugh.
Loved it.
Wow.
It could have lasted the whole credits.
The
I would have been
whole
just
credit.
fine.
girl.
Loved it.
Like, wow.
It was perfection. And they were dancing, and they even got the three the dudes, the old dudes, to be in it too. And I was like, this is so cute. And they doing their little it was
Love.
so cute.
The streets
No,
is
the
saying
scene-
Jennifer Love Hewitt was in this.
Yeah.
yeah.
She was Margaret.
She was the girl with the makeup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never know.
I didn't recognize that was her at first because I actually realized I didn't know what Jennifer Love Hewitt looked like. Ooh, sorry, girl.
The
But I know
girl,
the name.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it.
Maria, I think it was. The girl with like
Her
the
daughter
red
was
hair.
in this?
That whose daughter?
Whoopi's daughter. She was
Who?
in one of the classrooms, I guess.
Aw.
Yeah, I guess she was just like
Come
in one
on,
of the
Nepo baby.
classrooms.
Yes, you better reap them benefits, girl.
Okay, period.
I wonder,
the
you know
girl who
what?
played-
I wonder if she was the girl that they pointed out in sex ed class.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
because we didn't go back to her.
I'm sorry,
We didn't.
Nadia.
Well, we didn't go back to that class.
That would be
I
fun.
don't know. But you know, Maria was the lady who played in Euphoria, the Cassie's mom, Cassie.
Oh. Yeah, Cassie.
That's why she looks so
Yeah.
familiar.
Wow.
Mhm.
I was
You
like,
know-
why does she look familiar?
Yep.
Wow, it's just getting better and better. Cheryl
Right?
Ralph. Can we
Shirley-
can we get into the face? Actually,
We get into the hair.
that
Beauty.
Oh my god.
every time she was on camera, I
Like-
was just like, "Wow, you are
She-
breathtaking, captivating."
And it's like to this day, like
She's just so, you know how like you
Mm.
see things and you want people to be like Barbie dolls. Like that's what she looks like to me. Like someone that would have
Mhm.
been a Barbie doll. Like she's just so pretty. It's that classic, natural, Jamaican cheekbones and all that. Like she really was that girl. She was that girl
Period.
in Dreamgirls and all of that. And I was like, yes,
yeah.
it's giving exactly what it's supposed to give.
And the casting of the two of them, Cheryl Lee Ralph and Lauryn Hill, for some reason, I just thought that it just worked so well. Just
It really did.
I also feel like that whole dynamic was pretty realistic, you know. Sometimes parents can't see past the practicality of it all, especially like if you grow up a certain way, maybe you don't have much. It's like, okay, well, you have to do better than I did. So you have to do this, what I tell you to do type thing. So
Mhm.
I love how it ended with them.
Yeah. Brianna.
I'm raising my hand so
Go
that
ahead, Bree.
I don't speak over Bobby. Oh wow. And the thought, it's gone. No, it's not. It's back. Okay. So what I was going to say was that we definitely, as our generation and other generations, have to stopping our children from doing what they want because you think it's gonna do the same cycle. She didn't want her to sing because her father didn't make it and he was singing until he died. Like what that got to do with her though? Like you can't stifle a child, she might grow out of it and decide not to sing, but you can't like stifle them from wanting, you act like it's drugs. It's singing. Like especially in the 90s. The 90s.
Like-
And it was a choir. It wasn't even like she was trying to go out on herself. She was like, no, you can't
A
do it.
gospel
And it was just
choir
like,
at that.
girl, it was just like, girl, like you can't not allow her to follow her dream because you have decided that the same thing that happened to the father is going to happen to her. You don't know that. You don't
Mhm.
know that. And that's why she had to go and forge your signature and go on that trip because
Yeah.
you was not listening to her. You didn't let her do what you thought was not going to make money, which also that meme hilarious to see in the movie when Sheryl Lee Ralph sang last year for the Super Bowl, she sang the Black National Anthem. And so everyone on Twitter was like taking that part of the movie, saying singing doesn't make you money, and then putting it next to her singing at the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Very funny. Also, she talks about being that she was, you know, her mom on the movie and she was really close to her. She talks about how Lauryn Hill actually did come to her and was like, hey, I'm thinking about starting this group called the Fugees. What do you think? And Shirley Ralph tried to like low-key talk her out of it. She was kind of like, I don't know if that's like the best idea. Da, 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 da. And so she kind of had like a real life moment of like, you know what, I'm glad you didn't listen to me and followed your gut. Because I mean, I think Lauryn Hill would have been a great actress if she ended up being an actress full time. I don't know what the dynamics of the conversation was. I just know I've seen Cheryl talk about it in an interview that she kind of had that conversation, was like, well, you know, I think it was like maybe the name was what she was saying. I don't think you should do the name the Fugees or whatever it was. She tried to, she was kind of like, in my humble opinion. And then like I would say a couple of years ago, she was like, actually, I'm glad she did what she wanted to do. So I was like, it's kind of like crazy how things work out. It kind of mirrored the movie in real life.
yeah, that's
It's
nuts.
very much giving like the Cheetah Girls, and how Gabriella wanted to do music, and her mom was like, no, like what's gonna happen? That happened to me, and I look at where I turned down, blah blah blah. Like it's projecting, and it's not helpful. You're stifling your kids even wanting to come to you about their interests and their passions. Also, this was a gospel choir. We're not talking, like you said, this isn't drugs. She wants to sing for the Lord. So
Let the girl sing for the Lord.
let her sing for the
She
Lord.
wanted
Oh
to,
my
I mean, she
God.
just wanted to sing with her choir. I mean, the fact that the choir was that way to get money to not shut down the school, why wouldn't you want your child to be a part of that? Excuse me. Like, you should want
Right.
your child to, you know, be a part of the choir helping the school. Like, what would have happened if that exactly that happened? Your child wasn't a part of it because you said no, and then they get all this money and do all these things. You're gonna feel shitty.
And you
Mm-hmm.
You're
should.
gonna feel like you wish you would have been quiet.
Mm-hmm. Because before that, she was hanging out with, I mean, it was the same group of kids, but they were just hanging out on the corner, da da da. And now she actually has a passion that she's doing after school instead of just hanging out with her friends on the corner. Like, it's just let them live their lives, let them figure out their stuff. I think it's a good lesson.
Yes.
So can we get into Amal, Mr. Pan-African brother himself?
Oh yeah, I put
Loved
down Lil Hotep can sing. I was like, look at him.
the
Look
way I hollered
at him.
when he hit that note.
Mm.
Also, sidebar. That whole Oh Happy Day scene was so meaningful to me personally because for those who don't know, I am an avid listener of another podcast. I guess we shout out The Read, super famous and stuff. Kid Fury Crystal, love them. But that is their theme song. Every episode starts with Oh Happy Day and it ends with Amal hitting that high note. So I literally almost fell out of my chair. I screamed and I just really needed to make that known for the audience. Y'all need to know that I care about that scene a lot. And it was so good. Wow.
I don't know what it is. Well, I know what it is, but that song specifically and how they sang it, it just scratches my brain so right. Like it just,
Man.
I don't know what it is. But then he hit the high note, and everybody was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh," and it's like,
Whoopi turned around. She said, "Wait."
Right.
like where
I
did that
kind
come
of
from?
forgot that high note happened. Like, because much like a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff that we watch, we've seen clips of it out of context. So I've seen that. And I was like, oh, this must be the little boy to hit the high note. I just kind of like, when we are in the moment, I was so into them, like, okay, let me see what y'all can do. Then when he hit it, I was like, oh yeah, he do hit that. Like, and it actually was just like a perfect, like, I kind of wish he would have hit a high note in the final performance.
Me
But that's just me.
too. I was waiting for it to come back. Oh, look, where he at?
he said this is a group effort. He's not the soloist. Okay, he had to let Lauren shine.
Yes, and she did.
She did.
If he
I
says
had to Google this little boy because I need to know, like, do you have other songs, sir? My guess, yeah, he actually was a member of an R&B group as a child, so I guess he does, but I
what's
didn't
the R&B group?
I didn't listen to it.
Right.
Hold on. Hold
I'm
on.
just curious because of the time that it came out that I'm wondering if it's like something that we just didn't recognize him from.
Yeah.
It is called. Okay, his name's Ryan Toby. He is
Oh,
now
okay.
47. He was a part of an R&B trio called City High.
I don't
Oh,
get
wait.
it.
Wait. Is that hold on.
But this looks like it came out around the early 2000s, so that sounds
Oh,
about right.
they
They're the
have
one
a
that did the song What Would You Do? You know that song. What would you
Um,
do if your son was at home? I
oh,
know.
wait,
On the bed.
sing it
yeah,
again.
I do see
Wait,
it.
actually, maybe you shouldn't.
I don't want to like, that's why I
Right.
was like, I see
I was like,
it,
I
like
don't want
I'll
to do too
play it
much.
afterwards, but
Okay, they got
I
a
just
Grammy
wouldn't have guessed
nomination.
that.
Yeah. Oh, there
He
he
actually
is.
looks
Oh
like
my
someone I
God.
know. That's why I was confused.
Hmm. They were
I
only active
thought
for
I was
4 years.
like, oh,
Yeah, from
that, yeah,
1999 to 2003.
that's crazy.
That was a hot time though. That was a hot time.
That
All
was
you needed was one good track.
just
Right.
one. Just one. You're
And
famous forever.
they had
Damn.
that one.
What's
Oh
he
yeah,
doing
there he is.
now? Like, I'm trying to follow you, sir. Like, what?
Toby. Wait, Ryan?
Oh,
What's his name?
Why y'all look that up? Um,
Ryan Toby.
I'll just I'll just add
Toby
my other
Ryan.
thing I put that it feels like it was really fun to make movies like that when you were young back in the day. Like those movies
Mhm.
that were filmed in the 90s. Just
Yeah.
like watching them do their little improv scenes, watching them do the big choir performance. I was like, wow, like it just feels like back in the day as an actor, it must have been so fun to make big movies like this. And I'm not talking in the context of Quiet on Set. I'm not even talking about TV. I'm talking about
Oh.
movies specifically where it's like just that one production because it's usually like a 30+ day long production. Like it just seemed like something that would just be so fun to do, especially in the 90s where there wasn't a whole lot of like spectacle type things that were included in film, where it really was you just sitting in front of the film and filming. Like it just looked so fun. I kind of wanted to be a part of it.
Okay,
Right?
seriously. When they all got on that stage at the very end for the final number, and they had, first of all, their outfits so 90s. But when they were on that stage for that final number, I was like, wow, this is such a great time. Like, I want to be there. Actually, wait, they filmed that in the Shrine. That's I just want to say that's where I graduated, so I feel cool. You know.
And
Yeah, you know. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to be
When you
there.
graduated from this past
Yeah.
graduation or like,
Yeah. I was like, oh my
oh,
God, wow, that's the shrine. I was there, y'all. I was there. But no, it was so fun, and especially that the end credits. I was like, you know what, this looks like a happy family, and I know they were all besties for 30 days at least. And then maybe they went their separate ways, but I
bestie.
know they were besties. Yeah,
Yes.
they was kicking it. It kind of reminded me of School of Rock a little bit with
mm,
Jack Black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good time.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. I feel like they
Yeah.
were the best, and I feel like it wasn't just the kids, it was the whole cast, like the guys playing the teachers, the older guy, all these things. Like you could just tell, hopefully, we're just speaking speculation, but that it was like a family on and off camera. That's what I would hope. But that's what it seemed like with the energy that they were bringing and just kind of doing whatever. It just seemed like a fun place to be.
I wonder if they have like behind the scenes of this movie because I want to see it.
Mm.
I want to see
Mm-hmm.
what the environment was like. Like you said, it felt that way. To me, it's giving almost like how I feel about the High School Musical cast. Like I was like, they love each other. Like this is a family. Kenny
Ooh,
Ortega made
now
this a
High School
family.
Musical, that's a good comparison. Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. It like in my mind, I'm like, well, I wish I was in a gospel choir when I was in youth and I was doing this, like, but it's just such a feel good movie. I don't I don't know. And even like the His Eyes on the Sparrow scene where they were actually singing, because I've heard the soundtrack version of it, which is perfection. You should listen to it. But this version too, where it was Tanya, oh my God, what's her name? Tanya, I can't think of her last name. But
And
her and
Rita.
Lauren Hill. Yeah.
Rita.
Their voices together
Tanya
are
Trotter.
yeah, perfection.
A side note, can we bring that back? Can we bring back extra songs on the track list? I feel like that used to really be like a thing that was popular back then, of just like maybe one or two extra songs that you didn't hear in the movie but like on the track list. We should bring that back.
We should. We should. Bring back good soundtracks. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Yes.
That's not Disney, because we know Disney gonna eat.
oh,
Okay,
right.
they got Lin-Manuel.
Ooh,
Right,
yeah.
right.
We know everything he touches is gold.
Gold.
I feel like the last good soundtrack I heard was the first Black Panther.
That's
You
very
mean
Like
just like in
last
general?
good songs and
Mm,
like yeah, like how
Yeah.
they had their own like there were so many songs that was not on Black Panther in the movie that was on the soundtrack, but that was like the movie soundtrack. I lie. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Black is King.
I was
I
just
apologize.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna take it there
truly
next. Yeah.
apologize. It
Yeah.
No,
just
no,
hit
it's all right.
me. It just hit me. Well, I didn't watch The Lion King, so that's why it wasn't up there for me. I have a comparison because I watched Black Panther in the theaters and then I downloaded the entire album and like have most of the songs that's on the album. But yes, I mean Black is King is its own separate
Yeah.
like album,
I mean,
separate from Lion King, truly.
Right.
But
It's a top
there hasn't
Beyonce
been
album.
like yeah, like there hasn't been like you know, like how Beyonce songs are all, especially her recent albums, they're all like connected. There hasn't just been like a nice little mishmash of like songs that fit the vibe but are not the same since to me since Black Panther.
Black is King.
and yeah, and Black is King. Okay, yeah, I think you're right. I'm trying to think.
I-
Oh, well, The Color Purple, 2023. On that soundtrack, there's an extra song with Megan Thee Stallion on it. I was like, okay. But
I
you know,
do know that. I have not
Yeah.
listened to it, but I do know that. I saw
Yeah.
it and I was like, I love that for her because I love anytime she gets money. So,
Right.
yes.
but I did not listen.
Anytime Megan wins, I win.
Right.
I won when I
Just
saw
by
it. So,
default.
yeah, I did.
So-
win. Yeah, I did. By default, I got to see it all in person. It was a great time.
Like,
Mhm.
but yeah, do you guys have any more highlights?
Not really.
Okay, I have a
No,
few.
not really.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna just go down my list here. At the beginning, well, actually, before I even get started, I have a note here that says, Whoopi's comedic timing is just perfect. So a lot of these notes are about her timing. Like the lady, she can do no wrong, and it's just awe-inspiring, honestly. But anyway, when she opened the door to the bedroom, to her new bedroom, and she was like, "What is this?" Like, da, da, da. And the one nun, she was like, "Curtains." I open mouth laughed. That was great. Also, the callback to the battery pack sent.
Yes.
I did write that.
I wrote
I
that
did
down
write
too.
that. I wrote, turn that pack on, sis. Turn that pack on. Because you know it's time.
We needed that.
We
You
did.
know, that was for
Mhm.
us because I immediately thought of Danielle. Because I think you brought it up last.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
was like, I know Danielle's gonna write this down.
I did.
Yeah, that battery pack sent me. I have a note about Amal. That's my man right there. You know, like he's for the people.
Mhm.
And you know, never give up, sir. Let's see. Okay, yes, saving lives through the power of music. When Whoopi, Sister Mary Clarence Dolores, you know, when she gave the book to Lauryn Hill's character Rita and was like, "Here, just read the book." I said, "Wow, we're saving lives. We really are." I love to see it. Also, get up off of that thing. I screamed. I literally,
The
I
James
lost
Brown, like,
I yes.
the cake.
I also wrote
the
down
cake.
in quotations, get that money. I said, I know, right? When she was on the map, she was like, that's right, get that money. I say, I know that's right. You better advocate. She said, get that money. And yes, the James Brown quote, I said, oh, that's a reference.
That
And
was
she said,
crazy. They
she's like,
literally,
yeah.
they just said, Whoopi, you get on stage and do your thing, girl. And she did. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like they didn't even need to direct her for real. Like, it just seemed like she just knew exactly what to do because she's a natural performer. Wow. Also towards the end, I wrote down, okay, Sister Act 2 is officially in the greatest hits, you know? As soon as it ended, I put it in my Letterboxd comfort movie list. I also put it in my favorite film list. Yeah, it's in the list now. So it matters forever. Also, I'm gonna save this one for the end because I got something to say. But yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm
Okay.
mad about
I'll
it.
just add my one last quote. Again, my favorite nun, you know, she's giving Capricorn vibes. When Lauryn Hill came in and said, I can't go. My mom said, no, I can't tell you why. Bye. She said, give us back the consent form. I said, I know that's right. She said, we need every piece of paper we printed. She said, give us back the consent form. She said, hey, I was like, ma'am, this is not the time, but yes.
That would be us because you would be the one saying, give me back the consent form. And I'll be the one like,
yes, Danielle is constantly checking me. She is constantly checking me. And I just be like, what? Do you want it back or not? I mean, she forged her mom's signature, so at least something came out of it. But she was like, okay. Yeah. But that's my favorite nun. That's the one that be saying all that outlandish stuff, or was like, ice cream is a sin, but y'all couldn't get butter pecan. Like, she just she fits my vibe. She's very funny. She's the oldest one there, and it's my favorite thing.
My last little thought, I love the scene where they were still not trying to get her to jump on board with it, talking about Mary Clarence, but she was just talking to the principal and she found out that they lied, that she was from a prison and all this stuff. And she was talking to the nuns outside and she was like, you know what? You're going to hell. And they're like,
yeah. And didn't take it back this time. And didn't take it back.
She walked off. Okay. I was like, you know what? This time around, they said she is going to stick to her being Dolores. Okay. She is not Sister Mary Clarence. Okay. She's just in the clothing. That is it. I loved it. We'll be 8.
What a woman, you know? Honestly, the Whoopi Goldberg cinematic universe is vast and expansive, and I am just so happy that we are now a part of it. You know, like, I could do this forever. And I hadn't really, like, obviously, like, we know who Whoopi Goldberg is, like, you know, icon, whatever, but I had never, like, really seen her stuff for real. And now that I have, I get it. I completely understand, like, why she is still insanely famous. Just doing her thing.
Yeah.
Her best life.
I would love to watch some more of her older films, like the 90s films, because it seems like outside of one movie in this pending movie coming back, she hasn't really done any movies in the 2000s, and that's probably why. It's early 2000s, if that, but that's probably why we don't really know who she is for real, like in terms of acting. We've seen her in Cinderella, and we've seen her in this, in The Color Purple, but like for the most part, we've seen her on The View.
Right.
Yeah, I know her.
That's really right. That's really how I know her. So I'm excited to watch more of those.
Ooh, and that's movies. Why when she said that line, save it for Oprah, I just cackled just like a little bit more because I'm like, daytime TV. We've come full circle, girl. Full circle.
She ate them up.
She did.
Sure did.
Actually,
so, yeah, we're gearing up on around 50 minutes now. So I guess it's time.
Wait, you had something to say.
Oh, I'm gonna say it right now. Let me tell y'all. Listen.
Oh.
So after the movie ended, I Googled it, as one does. Rotten Tomatoes, you have to see me because 18%,
I saw that.
18% on Rotten Tomatoes, 5.7 out of 10 on IMDb. It's giving systemic racism. I don't like it. It's giving anti-Black. We're anti-whoopee. I don't like it. Rotten Tomatoes, and you have to see me about it. You do.
Clutching my pearls.
Yeah, it's a strong
18,
18.
like 1-8.
Wow.
And another thing about that, to me, 18% is like bottom of the barrel trash garbage. Sure, maybe you can have your opinion, but like I just feel like technically speaking, as a movie, like the script, decent, for what it's worth. Like you were giving it, and Bill Duke, whatever changes like he decided to make like with his direction and all that, like enhanced it to the point where it's like technically speaking 18% shouldn't even be on the freaking table. Like the cast 8 down, like all the acting was solid. It seems like all the departments came to play. It didn't really seem like anything was like loose or whatever. So I'm really really confused. Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Yeah, that made me.
It said it's an 18% on the tomato meter. I guess that's the people who like work for Rotten Tomatoes that do the official ratings, which is what you saw, and then it has an audience score of 61%.
That's still a little bit too
y'all
low
just-
for me.
Right. Y'all just hate joy, is what I'm hearing. You don't want to be happy?
fun.
They hate God, is what I'm hearing. Honestly,
That's what I'm
Okay.
hearing.
want to take it there.
Because I'm gonna make
You
it
don't
look
like
fun.
Jesus, just say that.
Right.
And when I rated it on Letterboxd after watching it, why am I seeing 2.5 stars, 2 stars,
Ooh.
1 star? I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, are you? What's
You
not
know
cooking?
what's crazier? The Rotten Tomatoes score for the original is 75%.
Ooh. Oh, so y'all some haters.
People hated the sequel. People hated the sequel.
No,
What?
like, and that's insane because like my entire life I've been hearing that Sister Act 2 is one of the very rare sequels that's better than the first one. So like,
Mhm.
is it just giving cult classic at this point or what?
Maybe.
In my opinion, I am one of those people. I believe that the second one was better than the first, but that's only because of the music element in it. Because the first one was a banger too. Like we trying to compare two baddies, and I'm not about to do that for real.
Okay.
But the second one eats a little bit more for me, Yes, Brianna.
You also like Lauryn Hill. So, and I don't say that to be a bad thing, but you also enjoy.
I don't know
Her
about that. I mean, not
You
to say
don't
that I
like Lauryn Hill?
don't, but like, I mean, I
thought
like
you were into
her older music. I'm not a
well,
stan.
the one album.
He only has a,
is
you
what
know,
I'm talking
right,
about.
Yeah.
The one album. Yeah.
which was just rated #1 on the Apple Music best albums of all time list, which a lot of people have lots of thoughts about because
Number
this is
one?
completely unrelated. Thriller is
had
number
thoughts
2.
about it.
I have a lot
But
of
I'm
thoughts.
gonna keep those.
I have
I'm gonna keep those thoughts on Twitter.
Right. This is a movie
because this is not the
podcast.
platform for that.
right. We're focused.
Yeah, but
I don't agree. But
I don't agree either.
Right. Either.
Love you, girl.
I drastically don't agree. But
Mhm.
But
here we
these
are.
Objective, whatever.
See, they can
Okay.
there's always the option to be quiet. You don't have to put out these lists. I'm just saying.
Right. Especially, okay, no, I'm gonna save it for after we.
It's fine. It's fine.
Because I'm gonna
Yeah.
go on a tangent and like we don't even have to do all that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so if y'all want to hear our thoughts, maybe you should. No, never mind. Don't.
Should we do a music podcast? No.
No, I was gonna say something way worse. I'm not even gonna.
Oh.
No. Anyway, so
Anyway.
that's the end of the episode.
We didn't rate.
Didn't at all. Did not.
Sorry.
Did
Okay.
not.
So So, guys, what are our final thoughts and ratings on Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit?
I think Danielle should go before me.
Okay,
Well, it's
Danielle.
obviously a 5 out of 5. Hot cones.
Period.
Like I said, it's a banger. I love the movie. The cast is so talented, and like for them to have that much talent at such a young age, it's just really impressive. The storyline continuation from the first one, I thought it was a good little plug. How she still had her backup dancers. She brought them, with her when she got big, and she took them on the road with her. And I think that is amicable. That's not the word I'm looking for. That
Admirable.
whatever.
Admirable?
Admirable.
Yeah.
Admirable.
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 All right, we got there.
It's admirable. And yeah, I think it's a very well done movie. The soundtrack is great, and that's all I have. It's 5 out of 5. Period.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. Actually, I do have another question. Why is it called Back in the Habit? What's the habit? See? Back?
Maybe that habit of saving. I don't know. You're not helping my review, but I don't know. I never looked it up.
I don't know.
I never looked it up.
Either way, I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 hot combs. Honestly, you can always reel me in with just some singing singers, like you're gonna get me every time. So I do think it's better than the first one because of that. It's the music for real.
Yeah.
And just a good ass time. I mean, damn. So yeah, that's all I got. 5 out of 5.
Oh, stop.
Go ahead, Brianna.
I'm gonna say I'm teetering between two different things. Okay.
Let's workshop.
I'm teetering between a 4 and a 3.9. Here's why. If you take the music out of both movies, the first one is still better. By far. And I have to be fair. If I'm gonna rate the movie as the movie, I have to take into account of stuff outside the music. And the music is really what makes this movie good, because that was the one thing that I felt like they focused on when they wrote the sequel. I think because the movie songs were so big and everyone loved it, the rendition, they had to make banger ones. And I think that a little bit might have caused them to forget about the movie aspect of the movie. Yes, it is a movie, but since we're comparing, I would have to say my 4 goes to if I had not seen the first one. My 3.9 goes to seeing the first one, because it's a good movie. I still feel that the movie was very, go ahead.
Oh,
yes.
Well, I was just gonna ask, what if you were not comparing at all? Like, what if this was just a standalone movie and it still had the music? What would be your rating?
Oh, that's what I just said. It would be a 4. It still wouldn't be a 5. But it wouldn't. But comparatively, look, I've heard this debate. That Sister Act 1 Sister Act 2 is better than Sister Act 1. I've heard all of these things. Okay, but I have to agree with the comedian Tony Baker that the second one is not better than the first one to me. I'm a girl who likes to go on a storyline. Personally, I could just listen to the album of this movie and not rewatch the movie. That's just me. I feel like the other one is something I would be in depth, in tune with the whole time, because it's a beginning to end story. This one, I mean, because you're expecting music, I feel like my attention span wasn't really in it. And the storyline, I mean, truthfully, they said something in the movie that made me think this. Fuck them kids. Look, y'all know how I feel. Y'all knows how I feel about kids and children in movies. Honestly, truthfully, I just feel like, I don't know. It feels like a sequel because a sequel had to be made and it was the pressure of it. So I'll just have to be the outlier in this group. I don't think this is better than the first one. I think you should watch the first one if you're gonna watch this one. It makes this one way more enjoyable. Honestly, actually, I change it. I switch it. You shouldn't have did that, Danielle, because now I switch it. If I had not seen the first one, it would be a 3.9.
Oh.
Because I've seen the first one, I'll give it a 4 in a rating.
Oh, okay.
I'll give it a 4 in a
Okay.
rating.
Okay.
All right.
Because we've seen the first one, like uncomparatively, 3.9. Comparatively, 4. Neither 5. But I appreciate for what it did. It gave us one of the best gospel songs, Lauryn Hill, all these fantastic actors in it. I mean, I feel like this is definitely a feel-good movie that I would show my kids.
Mhm.
I just think for me as like a movie watcher, I don't usually like to do that much thinking when I'm watching a movie, but I also don't like to have like no attention span when I'm watching a movie. And I didn't really feel you cared about the storyline in the first one because you cared about what was going to happen to Dolores Van Cartier. I didn't really care about how this was going to end because I knew that it was going to end perfectly fine. It was going to save the movie. But I don't know. There just wasn't really, I didn't really have too much. As a regular viewer, like outside of the movie's perspective, it was fine. So my final rating, which rating do you want me to give? The single
4.
rating?
Oh.
Okay. All
Sorry.
right. I was gonna say, do you want me to rate it compared to the first one or as its own standalone movie? But I think
As its
Bobby
own
just told me to
standalone.
put down 4.
Just put it down.
On standalone, 3.9.
Oh, wait. No, I meant the other one. I meant compared to.
Okay, so 4. So
Yeah.
they would like me to put down
Okay.
4 on the board. So
Yeah, I know that's right. Yes.
it was, again, no hate to Whoopi. Whoopi did her thing. I just was not I didn't really care too much of the plot line. Maybe that's something I have to work through in therapy. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't care about the plot line, but it just didn't catch me.
Now, what's
I
the
wasn't
therapist gonna
there.
say?
Yeah, I wasn't, I don't know. But I will say
Bummer.
that is I will put on record, I don't think the first one is better. I mean, the second one is better than the first one. But I hope the third one's good.
Oh, the third one's gonna eat. I just have a
Kiki.
feeling.
We're gonna
But
be watching Kiki.
okay, Kiki, Jennifer.
I'm gonna watch for Kiki, but I'm not gonna go into it. Like, remember how you guys were talking about how when you went to go see The Color Purple, the new one, you saw it on Christmas Day and it was like a whole hype, and then you rewatched it and realized you didn't really like it as much as you thought you did. I'm not gonna go into it with blinders. I'm still gonna review it and watch it. I will maybe, have fun outside of the camera, outside of doing this podcast for doing it, but like, I'm excited. I'm not too excited about all of these prequels, sequels, remakes, part 3s, and da-da-da-da, but I'd be interested to see because I feel like this was a movie people wanted another one of.
Right. I actually do have to agree with you, Brie, on one point that you made when you said you would rather listen to the soundtrack than rewatch it. When you said that, something clicked. A lot of the scenes.
I saw it click for you.
Yeah, a lot of the scenes that I wanted to rewatch were the music scenes, so
Yeah.
I would watch the first one without the music. The first one is hilarious. Based on comedy and just the plot line in general. It especially there's more room to add less singing in the first one versus the second one. You have to have the songs in it, or else you're not gonna watch the movie. Like, you have to put the music in the second one to watch it versus the first one could be made without music, add a couple of more filler scenes, and it would still be just as good.
That's fair.
Well, anyway, so no,
I apologize.
No, it's fine.
Who I think I
honestly,
am going against Black culture. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna leave.
No, that's fair. And honestly, I'm just
goodbye. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, what was I thinking? I'm trying to work in this industry.
The outlier a few times. I'm happy that it's not me.
I'm just gonna get eaten up on Twitter. TikTok's gonna tear me to shreds. Glad I
Well,
don't have one.
all press is good press, as they say. So whatever.
Nope. No.
That is a lie, yes,
No.
but
A lie.
But
But we love the feedback.
We do.
yeah. So anyway, I guess that's it, right? Yeah, okay. So this has been another episode of the Box Office here on the Hot Coats and Popcorn podcast. Thank you all so much for listening. I've been Bobby.
I'm Danielle.
And I'm Bree.
And if you haven't already done so, please follow and subscribe to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Buzzsprout. Wherever you get your podcasts, as the girls like to say. Throw us a like, share this episode, and leave in the comments below. Have you seen Sister Act 2? Did you see it when it first came out? And what are your thoughts on it? Let us know what movie or television show you would like to see us review next. And as you know, those streetlights are about to come on, so we've got to go. We'll see you next time, same place. Goodbye.